strawberry generation. Why do people label a certain generation with such a term? Are they really so easily bruised like a strawberry? Are they really not able to take hardship? I have enough of all these labels with different generations: boomers, Gen X, millennials, boomers that cannot say no or accept no. Today's episode is about defying stereotypes like this. We have a very special guest who will represent what they call the strawberry generation and prove that resilience is no boundaries and doesn't stick to any generation. So, welcome a very special guest today, Elaine Tan, who will share with us what is it that she really do and why does she make such a very interesting career switch later. So Elaine graduated with a Media and Communications Advanced Diploma, and yet you pivoted to be a special needs educator in the recent years. Hi, Elaine.
Hi.
Welcome to my episode today. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me here. So I'll be sharing with you why I pivoted from the events industry to the special needs industry, in which I would like to share a personal poem, just a part of it, from Robert Frost. Robert Frost has mentioned that two roads diverge in a wood, and I somehow just took the road that is less traveled by. And I think this somehow resonates with my career, as I was an events manager for 5 years before pivoting into special needs education, and I felt that there was a lack of caregivers in the society, and the strong stigma that was being raised under Singapore pushes me to ignite my dreams in becoming a special needs educator. Yes, that's how
Wow.
I felt it was more of an accidental calling for me rather than a path that I organically got myself into, but rather an accidental calling that got me into this field of special needs.
Very well said, and I love that. So, what's your advice then to start some of our viewers about having the courage to make such a 360 degrees pivot? Because it's so different.
I think in this type of situations, we need to be unapologetically be confident in what we do, and stand for our beliefs and our values to continue on this path, rather than listen and be swayed by people's opinions, because sometimes not everybody will understand the journey that you are at.
Yeah.
And I feel that even my own family sometimes do not understand why I chose this career, because it's a path that is less traveled by, as I mentioned previously. Yeah. Even though it's a noble cause, it requires a lot of patience and sacrifice that not everyone is willing to make, as everybody is more inclined to a 9 to 5 cycle rather than a full-time job looking after the special needs children. So I find that more needs to be done for this area of special needs.
That's very noble of you, and that also drives the reason for this episode. We both, Elaine and I, and I'm sure many of you understand and realize that such awareness or basic knowledge of the society accepting a group of people, including children, in this category that we kind of call special needs, is not there yet. So hopefully this episode with Elaine, and as well as how she therefore, like she said, organically grow into this role and wanting to make a difference, is something very admirable. And we hope that can also let you realize that it's not such a scary thing after all. And this group of people do need as much support as we can, whether to raise awareness or whether to become a volunteer. So educating and advocating for the public about the special needs group take a whole level of selling an idea, convincing others, and getting people to change. These are all critical skills everyone should have, whether or not you are working in this area. So, yeah, I'm very interested to hear from your point of view. What's your advice to us in developing such skills? Is this something that you feel you have to go through trial and error, or you feel that your previous work experience has somehow equipped you with such a skill?
I think special needs is an industry that requires a lot of experimentation, and I'm not one that actually just go into a course and I would say you have to put yourself out there to understand what is needed to trial and error before finding a possible outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that through I think one must be aware of themselves and the people who they are actually befriending together with. For example, the special needs children. I feel that most people are very unaware of their behavior, and I feel that we need to have more cognitive awareness in this area of special needs. And this is what is lacking for the special needs area when it comes to befriending of special needs children, for example. I find that metacognition is one of the critical skills that people should actually be more aware of when it comes to breaking into this industry.
Right. Is this something that one can take a course to develop, or what do you, or is it inborn?
I feel that after doing courses on the knowledge can only take you to a certain level. It's about the experiences that allows you to come out of your comfort zone and teaches you resilience in this industry. And I find that I would support people who actually go for the experiences rather than the knowledge, as knowledge can only teach you how to handle the more high the more impulsive children, but it doesn't really help you in terms of the mild cases. So I think it's more of putting yourself out there and learning to be on your feet and understanding your strengths and weaknesses in dealing with these complex behaviors. Yes.
Okay, so it's more practical experience rather
Learning on the job as you go along the way, and also more of be more open-minded towards the complex behavior of such children, like especially ADHD and autism.
Yeah.
I think we should just create a safe space between them and us, and provide more empathy that is required in this job.
Okay.
I mean, because the more we aggravate the behavior of them, the more they will start to confront you in a more violent way. And I don't think that's how we should approach and handle any situation for children with a complex behavior. Because we're talking about children who are broken and single families managing these children, not enough income, finances. So I think we need to provide more love, empathy, and patience when it comes to handling of these children.
Okay, but does it take any special skills? Because I mean, viewers may feel that, oh wow, there's a lot of requirements and I'm not trained, so I cannot volunteer. And that explains why we don't get enough volunteers who want to help out in this area, right? So yeah, can you maybe share with us a bit more so that viewers understand that they don't need to be like really trained for 3 years and be like a apprentice, a houseman before they can even go out and volunteer?
I believe the internet is very accessible to a lot of information these days, and I've actually found this course called Ability, whereby they provide free resources for the special needs educators and people who are keen in learning more about special needs. And I find that is a very useful tool for people who are unsure of what to do.
Wow,
and you'll
that's
be
great.
certified at the end of the course which will help you in your career path in one way or another, even if you don't actually use special needs as your main career. Yeah, as your main career, that could be an alternative. Another way is to volunteer, because I started off as a volunteer before becoming a full-time educator. Volunteering is the best way to see where are your strengths and weaknesses, and see whether this is the path that is right for you.
Right.
And also, you're doing a job that is without any like finances involved, so there's less pressure involved, so you'll be able to perform the job much better and less stress in a way.
Great. So I will provide the link in the description box for anyone who is interested to check out this course that Elaine just shared. And I agree, volunteering is a great way of doing that. You can start off volunteering just once a month, only a few hours, or even once a year, if you feel that your work schedule and family commitments can be a bit tight. It's always good to just do that few hours. I'm a big advocate for volunteerism. Volunteering helps both parties, actually. You really gain a lot when you put yourself out there, helping others, paying it forward. And the biggest takeaway for me as a volunteer is that I always feel I'm so much blessed, and that helps you to count your blessings. Because there's so much, out there in the world that people are less fortunate, and we shouldn't, whine too much in our own lives. So I will cut this part because I want to add on about your family things. So I will cut here and then I'll stitch, okay? So yeah, thank you very much. I agree. Our family members love us a lot, and therefore they want us to avoid the so-called pain and prefer us to do the popular jobs, right? My mom used to always want me to go and work in a bank because that pays well. And to them, that's the iron rice bowl. But as we now see with all the UBS and Credit Suisse saga, it's no longer an iron rice bowl. So when Elaine said that, yeah, parents may not even support what you do, I will encourage everyone to, follow your passion, follow your calling. After all, there's nothing wrong with even realizing maybe you make a wrong path or wrong move. It's okay. You can just go back, because through failures, that's how we grow. And that's how we learn. And then you realize, okay, maybe this is not my designated path or my calling. And then you just find the next one.